Or you're a person who watches education. What made you hit play on this video? Were you pulled in by our informative title and intriguing thumbnail? Are you just a generally curious person who watches educational YouTube videos for fun? Or maybe you're a coach looking for tips to motivate your players. Or a teacher hoping to help your students understand growth mindset. Or you're supposed to be doing something else, but you're procrastinating by watching this video, which will maybe give you the motivation you need to stop procrastinating and go to the gym or do your laundry or call your grandma. Whoever you are, do you think you'll stick around for the whole video and maybe even learn something from it? Why? What's motivating you to be here, or anywhere else for that matter? Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Zarka, and this is Study Hall Learning to Learn. One of the biggest misconceptions about learning is that it's something other people can do to us. So if you know how to tap dance or take the derivative of an exponential or budget effectively, it's because someone taught you how. If you don't know that stuff, you didn't have a good enough teacher. Wrong. The research shows that while great teaching and effective tools can help us learn, they can only go so far. Getting the rest of the way in learning whatever it is you're trying to learn comes down to you, your active participation in the learning process, and your motivation. So it's helpful to know what motivation is and where it comes from. Because when you understand that, it can help you learn more effectively and efficiently. Think of learning as a web, where each new thing you learn connects to the things you already know. Understanding motivation helps strengthen that web, making the whole thing stickier so you can add even more new knowledge. See, motivation is the driving force behind our actions, or the effort we're willing to put in to pursue a goal or outcome, whether that's watching this whole video or learning to tap dance, or a whole range of other things. It's not just something you have or don't have. Maybe you have a hard time getting yourself to go to the gym. That doesn't mean you're an unmotivated person. It just means you haven't found the motivation to complete that particular task yet. But when you know how it works, you can motivate yourself to do, well, just about anything. According to most researchers, motivation is made up of two parts: value and expectancy. Value refers to how important a thing or goal is to us, or whether we care about it. Basically, if we don't value something, we're not going to be motivated to do it. So if you don't care about watching this video or being able to tap dance, it's going to be a lot harder for you to do those things. But you can value things in different ways and for different reasons. For example, attainment value is about the importance of doing something well, or being perceived as doing something well. Like if you're tap dancing because it makes you feel like or be perceived as a good dancer. Intrinsic value is basically doing something for its own sake, no achievement necessary. Like if you just love tap dancing and would do it even if you never performed for an audience or made a career out of it. And utility value is where you value something because it's a stepping stone to something else you need or want. Like if you learned to tap dance because it was a necessary part of your musical theater degree and you want to graduate, but you're pretty sure you'll never tap dance again. Having any of those kinds of values attached to something can motivate you to pursue it. So a key part of motivating yourself to learn or do anything is figuring out why you want it and why you should care. Kind of like how I asked you why you're watching this video and what would motivate you to watch the whole thing. Your answer probably says something about your values. If you think of yourself as a smart or curious person, this video might have attainment value. If you think it's really fascinating to learn about learning, you might find intrinsic value in this video. And if you're trying to write a paper about motivation, maybe it has utility value. If you're struggling to find motivation and value in a class or job or experience, you can try connecting what you're learning or doing to something else you're interested in or your future goals. Or try to figure out how it's relevant to real-world things you care about. Like, do you want to have a particular job title because it sounds and feels impressive? Are you majoring in finance because it's eventually going to make you a lot of money? Are you taking a math class simply for the joy of solving puzzles? Maybe you kind of hate running, but you want the health benefits, and you like that it gives you time to listen to your favorite podcast. Knowing your values can go a long way to motivating you to push through and study for the exam, or go for a run, or make the phone call you've been avoiding. It gives you a reason to care. The second part of motivation is expectancy. That's the belief that you have about whether or not you can actually achieve a goal. Basically, you might care about something so much, but if you don't expect that you can do it, you'll struggle to even try. And there are different types of expectancy too. First is outcome expectancy, which is about whether the action in front of us will get us where we want to go. And you can have a positive outcome expectancy or a negative one. A positive outcome expectancy would be something like, if I go to my tap dancing lessons and practice every day, I'll rock my audition and get a part in the musical. A negative outcome expectancy, on the other hand, sounds more like, No matter what I do, I'll never land a part in the show. You have to know that there's a process to follow to be able to achieve your goal. But you also have to believe that you're capable of following that process, otherwise known as efficacy expectancy. You have to believe that you can actually do the lessons, put in the work, rock the addition, and get a part. If you know that's the process, but you don't believe you can do it, you have negative efficacy expectancy. So it sounds basic, but a key part of motivating yourself is believing that you can do it in the first place. Do you believe taking notes and studying for the test is going to help you get an A? Or do you think you're doomed to fail no matter what you do? Or say you want to watch this whole video, and you know it should be pretty straightforward. The video's not that long. All you have to do is sit there and watch it. If you think you can do that without getting distracted, you got positive outcome expectancy and positive efficacy expectancy. If you just know there's no way you're making it through this whole video because you're definitely going to get distracted partway through, that's negative outcome and efficacy expectancy. If you struggle with having positive expectancies, there are things you can do to help yourself. Like make sure you're doing things that have the right level of challenge and give you opportunities to succeed. If you don't run much, motivating yourself to train for a marathon might be too daunting. Instead, maybe aim for a 5K first and work your way up to the marathon. It turns out a big part of getting motivated is driven by mindset, or the stories we tell in our heads about our abilities. Our efficacy expectancy is often bound up in these stories, and they can actually affect how much we're able to achieve. Josie has simply never done well in a science class in her life. She listens and participates in class. She reads the textbook. She studies for the tests. But for whatever reason, her effort doesn't translate into good grades. Should Josie, A, drop science as soon as possible? She's just not a scientist. B, keep trying. She just hasn't found the right strategy yet. C, blame her teachers. Clearly they haven't done a good enough job of teaching Josie effectively so she can learn science. Your answer to that question probably reveals a couple things about your own motivations and mindset. If you didn't pick an answer and just waited for me to keep talking, fair. Apparently this isn't a very motivating exercise for you. If you said C, you might still be under the impression that learning is up to how our teachers teach, and not something we have much say in. Josie's teachers might have played a role, but they're not the only factor. For a refresher on that, go back and watch episode 1 in the beginning of this video. But if you said A, science just isn't Josie's thing, you probably have the idea that we can't change our capability. Intelligence is something that's set at birth, and we're stuck with whatever we got. That's known as a fixed mindset. That kind of mindset can feel very demotivating. If we think we're doomed no matter what, it's going to be hard to motivate ourselves to try. If you answered B and think Josie can keep trying, you might believe that human capacities aren't fixed but can be developed over time. That's a growth mindset. And it's been studied a lot, including by research psychologists Carol Dweck and David Yeager. Their research shows that thinking we can change and grow actually makes us more likely to change and grow, and allows us to overcome harder challenges on average as a result. So if Josie's really motivated to keep taking science classes, and she thinks she can improve and succeed in these classes, she can probably figure out a way to do that and unlock her potential as a science person. For example, maybe she finds a tutor to help her study more effectively, or reads some popular science books to help connect what she's learning to other things that interest her. And the same goes for all of us. When we understand what we want to achieve, why we want to achieve it, and how to adjust our mindset so that we can achieve it, we can unlock all kinds of potential for learning. And that can help us accomplish all kinds of things, whether that's tap dancing or going for a run or actually doing your laundry instead of procrastinating. The more we think about our values and mindsets and reflect on motivation, the better we'll be at motivating ourselves. And that will help us expand that knowledge web so we can learn more about the world and better contribute to improving it. Coincidentally, that's one of our values here at Study Hall and one of the things that motivates us to make videos every day. Now congrats, you made it through the whole video. What will you motivate yourself to do next? If you're currently in or thinking about going to college, go to gostudyhall.com for more student resources and check out our $25 college courses. Thanks for watching. See you next time.